Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the International Women of Blockchain event. My name is Olienka Odenrin. I am the founder of Black Women Blockchain Council, also the creator of the International Women of Blockchain, IWB. I'm happy to be here on Super Sponsor Saturday. It's a wonderful Saturday, even though it's not that very sunny over here where I am, but I'm happy nonetheless. This will be our last Super Sponsor Saturday for this month and for this event. I can't believe that we've been running this for such a long time, but you know what? All good things must come to an end. But, we have a lot packed for you today, and I'm very excited. As you know, we had our last Futuristic Friday yesterday, and that was enjoyable. We went through so many different metaverses and got to be introduced to like so many different platforms that are being built for us to have great metaverse experiences, whether it's, in a gathering setting with our friends or whether it's at work. I think that was a wonderful way for Nicole to sign off on Futuristic Friday. We have so much planned. We're still running all the way up until March 31st. So I want you guys to continue tapping in. Today is Super Sponsor Saturday, and what that means is that our sponsors are our feature focus. But also, because they're our feature focus, we are bringing you some really interesting things today. Today, we have another one of our speakers who's coming up, who's going to talk about the book that she's releasing on the blockchain. Wow. Okay. So like you could release a lot of stuff on blockchain. So I'm very excited to bring up Henna. Henna, come on up.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you again. I know,
Yes.
I know that we've been talking, and you're one of those individuals that actually are rolling up their sleeve and building these blockchain technologies or DLT, distributed ledger technologies for corporations. And but you also have an artistic side to you because I know behind you, you do that. So you are an artist. And I love that. I love that you're analytical, but also you got your creativity flowing as well. So I know this space is like ideal for you. You're able to tap into various different aspects of this ecosystem that we're building. But I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about what you're going to present to us today, because I'm excited about it. So I'll see you in a few.
Thank you, Inka, for the wonderful introduction. And yes, I love creativity, and that is the mural I painted on my wall. So I love it. So my name is Henna, Henna Vinagopal, and I am a speaker, author, and a mentor on the Web3 space. I work as a director for DTCC. DTCC is a post-trade premier infrastructure and mainly focused on post-trade activities like clearance and settlement. So DTCC is also a leader in innovation and is a governing chair for the Hyperledger Foundation. DTCC has a lot of focus for empowering women in technology and innovation. I work on a very interesting Forbes top 10 blockchain project, which is Project Ion, and it is mainly on how can we transform the classic Wall Street settlement using private blockchain. So it's very interesting, and we spoke about it in the last session for the International Women's Blockchain Council as well. So today I am here as the author for the book Be Mine, which stands for Bitcoin mining. Or Be Mine, and I'm very excited to talk about that book. So we will talk about the mission and background, the storyline, the chapter outlines, and the last one, which is most interesting about, is how can we tokenize a book? How can we get a publication on blockchain? And what are the next steps? So first of all, we as the amazing Web3 creative community here, what can we do as a Web3 community to humanity? How can we ease the barriers of entry to this very fascinating world of DeFi and extended reality, mixed reality? How can we ease the barriers? So that is the main question in front of us, the Web3 community. How can we empower, and what can we do for the humanity? So the main background of my initiative for writing this book is mainly how can we create more engagement among the teenagers, or the younger community, or the crypto curious community, who are the future leaders of this world. Being socially isolated from friends and not having interactive creative activities, the pandemic has taken an enormous toll on the mental health of youngsters. A looming war like Ukraine and Russia, in addition to the pandemic as it continues with social isolation and distancing, right? Anxiety and depression is like very much increasing in today's world. If you open a newspaper or a website, all you see is like depressing pictures of dead bodies and bombing and all that. So how can we get the youth more engaged? You can see from the statistics, there's like 4.1 million youth who cope with major depression and substance overdose, because youth and children usually tend to flourish when they have more predictability, more structure, and interactions in their day-to-day routines. So how can we alleviate this issue? And you can see suicidal related cases are climbing up worldwide, not just in US, like across the world. This trend is like very, very bad. It's worsening. So can Web3 engagements improve this worsening mental health of children and adolescents? So that is the background behind my initiative. And we as a Web3 community, how can we team up together? How can we work towards that goal? Because it is like such a fascinating world. Once you enter Web3, that immersive creative experience, I want everybody, we as a community, we want everybody to have that exposure and enjoy the potential benefits of Web3. So I just want to start with this quote: happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only remembers to turn on that light. So sometimes, when you're depressed, you forget how to turn on that light. So can you or me be the person to turn on the light for someone else, right? So as a community, let's empower each other. Let us spread the light. Let us spread the happiness. How can we do that? So Labs United for Extended Reality Expression, or Luxor, is formed with the mission of creating regional labs among artistic youngsters who would like to contribute towards this creative process. So it can be NFT art, it can be gaming contribution, it can be coding, it can be creating a metaverse space. So any of those, right? There are various levels of engagement depending on your interest. You can enter Web3. So that is the main purpose of Lab United. And this is the first initiative of Luxor Labs through this book, so Be Mine. So storyline and the characters, you can see as the purpose is to mainly attract the youngsters. The storyline takes through a conversational sci-fi fiction, starting with an interplanetary ride and conversing on metaverse and DeFi between Lux, who is the heroine, and Cyrus, who is the hero. And then it takes deep dives into the technology side of each of the topic in that book. So Be Mine is an unorthodox take on technology book targeted towards youngsters and any crypto curious beginner minds, or even for advanced crypto curious people. There will be a lot of information in that. But it's an easy read on everything DeFi, spanning from metaverse, blockchain, crypto mining, and investment. And also we talk about what are the future opportunities. how can we be part of this revolution with very simplified, easy to understand, easy to follow hands-on exercises. So as an attempt to ease the entry barriers for youngsters to this wonderful technology, every chapter starts with a comic strip relevant to this topic. So you can see this is like a sample of the comic strip, the starter for the metaverse chapter. So basically, Lux, who's the heroine, she is an astronaut who shuttles between Mars and other planets and Earth, and she's also a Bitcoin miner and very tech-savvy person and a philanthropist. So Mars is in. Lux, the heroine, is in Mars, and she's like enjoying and surfing the wonderful sand dunes in Mars. So while she's surfing, her boyfriend, who is in US, and he is a musician rock star, but he's not at all tech savvy. So he calls and he tells Lux that, hey, I miss you. And Lux says, why should you miss me? Let's meet. And Cyrus, who is the non-tech savvy person, he's like, how can you meet? You're in Mars. And Lux will say, hey, we can meet now in metaverse. And he's like, with open mouth, what meta watch, and Lux will explain what is metaverse and what it means, beyond the worlds, and how can it be your alter ego world where you can be your avatar, and you can do everything you want and anything you want. And this is a slide where she is like versing through the metaverse and her avatar. So that is the comic strip, and then from the next page it will deep dive into technology, where Lux will be like talking more about the technology, and it is like almost like a technical book. It will go through all the definitions and all the various activities in metaverse. Also, a lot of hands-on activity. So, for example, on metaverse, you can create avatars, you can create verses and spaces on Mozilla Hubs or Gatherverse or Nowhere, etc. And all Confluence, all of that. It will talk about all those hands-on exercises as well. So these are the main chapters which goes through the is life and illusion, talking about metaverse, your lucky mint, which is like cryptocurrencies and NFTs, a farm tour, which is like mining Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's explore the block, which talks about blockchain, both private and public, and all the related blockchain activities. And then it talks about investing and joining the billionaire club, and moonshots to the future, and what is the future potential and conclusion. So then I need to quickly talk about the digital asset tokenization, which is very interesting to many of you. How can we tokenize digital assets, right? So universes are the places where content creators and readers can connect, collaborate, trade, and enjoy the digital stories with full ownership and control over your royalties. So if you own that, if you did that content, you own that content, right? So you have the royalties. So that is the main beauty of tokenization. And I am working with Riedel, Margarita, and team to see how can I tokenize my book. So Riedel is a decentralized NFT platform for publishing, buying, selling digital books and related collectibles. So this is like, for the content creators, you can own your royalties, share them with your community, donate. You can even crowd fund your next story with the help of Web3. So if you you might have seen on Amazon, how can you just publish a sample chapter? So you publish that sample chapter, and then the future readers and investors or can crowdfund your entire book. So isn't that an amazing technology? Isn't that empowering for an artist to do that? So that is how this, can create this vibrant universe around your story, and how you can collaborate with people. So this is like from Riedel, that is the publishing platform, and you go through the Riedel marketplace to tokenize it, and once it is tokenized, it will give you the royalties and commission every time that resource is being used. So you can see this is like basically the Riedel marketplace. This is basically the smart contract, which so smart contracts are nothing but it's just like a set of rules on how the book should be. The published, and the percentages and royalties are defined. So basically, the business logic behind this transaction is coded in the smart contract. So you can see like 2% it will go to Riddle, and then you can decide as the owner or the content creator, you can decide how much of the percentage goes to the copyright owners, how much goes to the contributors, etc. And if it's a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, like where multiple people are contributing, this contracts can work wonders in streamlining that process. So this is like a usual tokenization. So all you have to do is go to that marketplace, connect your wallet to that marketplace, and it's like it can be MetaMask or many other compatible wallets, and then OpenSea or platforms like that where you can mint your tokens. So that's the normal usual tokenization framework. With Riddle, it is even more efficient in the sense like it uses the Polkadot ecosystem, and the smart contract functionality lives on those Moonbeam parachains. So Moonbeam is a parachain with Mover or the Moon River tokens, and which is an Ethereum compatible Move utility token. So that is the currency which is used for tokenizing. And this is like completely MetaMask compatible. And as I mentioned earlier, there's like smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically like rules of your transaction. So it is usually written in languages like Solidity, and this is on Polkadot. So that is the main technical part of this tokenization. And you can also note that when you use Riddle for transaction token for the publication tokenization, the transaction fees or the gas fees are very low, which we all love. So less money for minting it, right? It's almost like 0.0000. So very good. So that is about tokenization, and I just wanted to thank you all. And Be Mine is the book. The aim is to promote more interaction and creativity to get the young brains more engaged in an imaginative way with Web3. And these small impactful steps towards stimulating a massive cause, right? How can we empower the future leaders? Let's talk about it and get those young minds sparked up with imagination. Thank you.
Wow, I love it. I love it.
Thank you,
I
Inka.
love the book. So is your book, have you minted the book yet?
I am working with Riddle, not yet minted. Yes, we are planning to do it the next month.
Next month? Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes,
I would
we are
love for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
we are finishing up the book right now. So, but I'm speaking with Margarita from Riddle on tokenizing.
Awesome. I would love for you when you do mint it to please post it in the IWB Discord so that everyone knows that the
Absolutely.
book is out there and we can celebrate you. I'm really
Thank you.
excited about this. I'm excited to learn about Riddle as well. I knew that there was a way that you can tokenize your book, but I didn't know which platform. So it's a good introduction to Riddle, and I suggest that all of you go out there and read more about it. What is their website?
Readl.io.
.io.
If you go Google READL, read and L, READL, you'll get it.
Okay. All right. I'm putting that in chat right now. Oh, sorry. I put .com. I'm sorry, but it's .io. We're so used to .com that it's like a default. It's
Yes.
.io.
Yeah,
All
now it's
right.
a .eth or .io. There are so many domains out there.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's Redo.io. Make sure you check it out. Now we can tokenize books, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's a graphic book. And so it's making it easier for young adults to absorb this whole technology with everything that comes with it. Oftentimes we hear that the language and the words and the acronyms are very hard for people to grasp, especially when they're first being introduced to this space. And for us that's been in this space, it comes off of our tongue so easily. We understand it, right? But I love that there's a book that's introducing it in a more friendly way, right? So that they can start to understand a lot more about what this whole ecosystem is about. And it's also for adults too, because oftentimes adults, they just want it to be broken down to like a fifth grade level, right?
Yes.
Understand it. And I think that's great. Like, I think the people that are able to help us with the mass adoption that we want amongst individuals, right, are the people that could break it down to that level, right?
Absolutely,
The true
absolutely.
educators.
Yeah. So Inga, just to clarify, so every chapter has the first page as an illustration, and
Okay.
from next chapter it is just like a technical book. So it goes in depth. It's
In
just like,
depth. Okay.
yes, it goes
Okay.
just like a technical book.
Hey, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm impressed by what you're doing. I'm impressed by the fact that you're actually working for financial institutions, right? And building the DLT. And we don't meet a lot of women who are rolling up their sleeves and doing that. And so I'm sure, for you, this is something that you already know that industries have been latching onto for a while. It's been said that before the financial institutions came fully into, recognizing blockchain and recognizing cryptocurrencies, that they had already had trademarks
Yes.
on blockchain, right? So can you speak a little bit about that?
About the blockchain.
Yeah,
Tell me that.
I guess infatuation with that industry with blockchain.
Yes, so there's like a lot of potential in the blockchain across the industry, right? So it's infatuation, or it's real potential out there. So what attracts the industry to the main advantages to the industry is the main thing is decentralization. So it's a creator's economy out there, and once it is decentralized, you can have umpteen people contribute towards the same cause very easily in a very streamlined way. And it's all decentralized, and it is completely immutable. So even if you make some small changes, especially when it comes to, if we are talking about publication, there's like, even if there's one small change, somebody who copied it, or did something malicious to your content, it is all trackable because it's all on blockchain and it is immutable. So immutability and being the single source of truth is the key potential key character of the blockchain world. So I think those two are the main advantages, and there is no intermediaries, and everything is like peer to peer. It's direct and atomic. So those instant swaps and the power in your hands to do these transactions directly actually it's very empowering. So more than an infatuation, I think it's a real potential, just exploding. The field is just exploding.
Yeah, no, that's true. We know that decentralization is the way that we as individuals want to apply blockchain, but there's a lot of industries that are applying their own privatized blockchain, right? So it's centralized and
Yes.
it's access control and there's permission parameters around
Yes.
it and
Yes.
stuff. So, with you being involved in building that, if somebody else wants to, become, what do you call yourself? Like, what is your title?
I'm a director, so I work for Project Ion. So Project Ion is a top 10 Forbes project for blockchain. The main objective of Project Ion is to how can we modernize the classic settlement, classic Wall Street settlement using, so the driver behind it is the DLT and private blockchain. So I am a director with that project.
Awesome. Awesome. And if a woman or a guy who's viewing this, they want to, get their hands dirty as well and maybe get into that type of position, like what do they need to do in order to obtain, just the same role as you?
It's all about starting now, right? So I think that is what, as especially as women, we always try to get that perfect moment to start anything. Where we need to know how to be a taker, how to just jump in and then feel the waters.
Mhm.
So we are always scared to do that. So I started like almost 5 years back in this blockchain field, because DTCC is very focused on innovation and spreading that wealth among women leaders in technology and women empowerment. So I've been in many of those discussions. So anybody, and now the information is out there in many of those communication platforms. So if you're on LinkedIn, please connect and make your network. You can follow many of these Web3 tags and DeFi tags and blockchain tags, metaverse tags. So depending on what your interest is, so if you want to really go in depth on technology like coding, coding smart contracts, making the blockchain platforms, you can do that. Solidity or Java or Kotlin, many of those coding languages you can take training, and it's the trainings are easily available on Udemy, and many of those you can get those courses, and you can do it as well. And I am a CORDA certified professional. So if you go to the CORDA, which is a private blockchain from R3, their website is also very intuitive, very easy to follow, and they have entire documentation. And most of this documentation is like open source, and you can access it publicly. So just go to the website and get that. And they have free boot camps. Most of these companies have free boot camps. So if you go to the Polygon or if you go to the Corda, Hyperledger, yeah, just sign up, and you will get those emails and start attending some of those webinars. They have all levels of webinars. It starts from like what really is a token, from the very basic level, to like how can you really code behind that tokenization, behind the smart contract, all of that. So start something, start following people who are in this field, because they will publish, and they will always post something which can be followed very easily. And feel free to ping them, and ping any of those leaders, and talk to them. And I felt like that is how I learned it. I used to like reach out when I see something interesting. I reach out to them, and they will like, hey, I would love to talk to you, and they will set up time. So yesterday or last week, I was invited to the women leaders NFT lab by Anna. So it's just a connection. I just pinged her, and she was like very gracious to talk to me, and she invited, and I learned a lot about the confluence and token, and I even won an NFT there. So it's very easy. So you just go there, reach out to people, reach out to the websites, start something, and try to read about it. Just Google those Web3 or DeFi or blockchain tokens, all of that. Just Google before you reach out to them, so you have at least a basic knowledge of what you're trying to do, right? And within that blockchain or the Web3 field, as I said, you can be a technology side, which is like in depth. You have to program, and you have to get certified, etc. Or you can be on the creative side too. You can be an artist, and artists are in much demand. That is the highest most demand resources in the Web3 space now, because most of these games and avatars and everything need and the confluences or metaverse, everything need is based on art behind it. So, and it's very interesting, and I personally, that is my passion. I want to go there. As I said, I draw the thing in the back, so I love paint and color and everything. So I would love that, and it's very interesting. So, and there's fashion and all that interesting stuff. So it's not just like technology, right? So pick up your passion, go with your passion, then you don't feel like you're doing work. You're enjoying your work, right? It's not like boxed. That So that is what I want. What I would say, everyone to start something, research on something, read something, and start now. Don't wait for that perfect moment.
I love that advice because it's true, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned a few things that I want to focus on. So you mentioned that there's a certification. Can you spell out the name of the company
Yes.
again?
Yes. So there are a lot of certification. I think Blockchain 101 is a good company as well. And there are a lot of other things too. But what I did was the CODA certification. It is from R3. It is a private blockchain, enterprise level blockchain, and it is called R3. and
R3. Okay.
R3, and spelling is Corda, Corda. So I'm a Corda certified professional. So I just took it. I started. I just took like 2 months for me to explore that documentation, and I learned. There were a lot of boot camps and things like that on the website, which is free. So when you're free, just on that video and just follow through it, and you will learn something from many of the relevant stuff from that boot camps, and you
Okay.
can even do hands-on things there.
There you have it. You have wealth of information. And also, one thing that you mentioned is reaching out to people, right? Because that's
Yes,
what this space is all about. We keep
yes,
telling people, just reach out. It's all about networking. It's all about connecting with people, and everyone, for the most part, are open and willing to educate you and
yes,
point you in the right direction, right? And
yes.
so I definitely encourage that. And, we want y'all to tap into Hannah as well. Hannah, how can people tap
Please.
into you besides
Uh,
being on the Discord?
I have like 2,000 plus followers on LinkedIn.
So connect with her on
Yes,
LinkedIn.
please do. I
Awesome.
would love to help because I personally have benefited from mentorship, amazing mentors. So I would love to give it back, and that is my passion to mentor. I am a mentor for Destination Imagination, and Girls Who Code, and many other organization, and DTCC itself. So please do reach out to me. I would love to help and share anything I can.
Awesome. Awesome. We're already getting people who are thanking you for the wealth of information that you're providing. So awesome. Now, your passion. You said that if you could, you'll be doing a lot more drawings and paintings. So do you already have collections out there or pieces out there as
I have
NFT?
some. No, I don't have. That is what I'm planning to. You will see a collection of my NFTs soon. Actually, it's not just my NFT, my collection.
Mhm.
As I said, I want to empower the youngster artist into this field. So I
Mhm.
am working with a group of young adults who are creators and who are very good at art, like drawing. So we have a theme. I will, we are working on it, and by in 2 months we will release that NFT collection. It will be like a collective effort by around six teenagers, and all of them are girls. So I want to empower them. I want to show them, hey, you look at the value you added, and look at your creativity being, talked about and having the recognition. So that is what I'm trying to do. So I will update you on that, Inka.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Because I was about to say, yes, please let me know so we could put it out there and have a set of eyes and retweets and have a lot of people within the community support these girls
Okay.
as well as yourself. I definitely think that if you put out your own artwork, you will definitely get a lot of collectors
Yes.
because I can see right now you by what you have in the background. It's fantastic. I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's so many colors, and you're using the colors in such great ways. And I can see like the grass, the mountain, the sky is. I mean, I can go into going into great detail, and that's only a snippet, right? Of I'm sure
Yes.
there's more to it, right?
Yes.
So don't hesitate to go ahead and put out some NFTs of your own as well. I want to encourage you to do that.
Thank
And,
you.
we can't wait to see you next year and be a really famous NFT artist.
Yay, yes. I would love that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you very much for introducing digital tokenization as well as your book, which is Be Mine, which is all about Bitcoin mining, as well as it gives you more in-depth information about blockchain, cryptocurrency, mining, and so much more, which we all need to embrace as well as learn and educate ourselves on. So I think this is a great way. And you've blown our mind by giving us a pathway to mint books, right? And that as digital tokenization. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. I will be checking Riddle .io and seeing what I can do. You know, I'm
Thank you
excited.
so much, Inka.
Thank
This has been
you.
wonderful, wonderful, and again, this is a second opportunity you gave me to speak on this forum. I really, really appreciate all your efforts to empower the women in blockchain and the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're having people thanking you left and right here. So thank you as well. All right. I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your Saturday, Henna.
You too, Inka. Thank you. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
all.
All right, all right. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back, and we will talk about Phantom wallets. I know that last week when I went over the MetaMask, that it was very helpful to a lot of people because a lot of people did reach out to me and said, you know what, that was helpful. It allowed me to create my own MetaMask and know exactly what steps and what to come. So it made the whole process seamless. And I want to do that for Phantom Wallet, which is part of the Solana blockchain as well. I particularly like the structure and the components that come with Phantom. There are some things that, maybe may need to be improved on, but I overall, I think it's actually a pretty decent wallet. It gives you everything that I need and we want. And so I'll come back and show that to you and walk you through the same process of opening up your Phantom wallet. All right, we are back. And so, because we are back, I am going to go ahead and walk you guys through a process of creating your own Phantom wallet. If you have not done it before, this is a great step to introducing you to another blockchain, which is the Solana blockchain. And the Solana blockchain, it's also a smart contract, just like the Ethereum. However, this one is faster. It's also cheaper to purchase and NFTs and do smart contracts on this particular blockchain, and also transactions, I should say, instead of smart contract transactions on this blockchain. Now, the Solana blockchain is newer than the Ethereum. It's gaining a lot of popularity, but it also is, because it's in the beginning stages, it's also hitting or getting a lot of identifiable vulnerabilities that a lot of bad actors are taking advantage of. The language to code this particular smart contract is Rust. And Rust is a little bit difficult to understand for a lot of people. So there's not a lot of uh, developers that are knowledgeable about Rust. But however, once they gain that information and that understanding of building the smart contract based off of Rust, they're able to scale a lot in this particular blockchain uh, ecosystem, and be able to create a whole host of things. There's a lot that's being created, creativity within the Solana blockchain that is missing from the Ethereum ecosystem. And so people are coming in and they're building and it's scaling. We have a few famous people who have jumped on platforms that are built on the Solana. Michael Jordan is one of them, who has actually decided to release a few NFTs on the Solana blockchain, as well as other celebrities who have decided to start using the Solana blockchain. So there's money that's coming into the Solana blockchain left and right, and people see it as a viable blockchain to start working on. But at the same time, there are some vulnerabilities that are being identified, because recently there was a hack that happened with one of the platforms that was built off of the on the that was built on the Solana blockchain. Um, needless to say, it's not the only blockchain that has a vulnerability. Vulnerabilities tend to come from the lines of code, and guess what? Human beings are the one that introduces these vulnerabilities, because we're the one that's actually building these chains. And so, if someone is copy and pasting something that has the wrong uh, line of code or coding that's embedded into it, you're going to copy and paste that. And if there's already people who've identified that wrong character or a wrong line of code, they're going to know that it's very easy for them to target and do anything nefarious with that particular platform, because they just copied and paste. But that's we're still in the beginning stages of building, and unfortunately, human vulnerability is going to be introduced into it. Given that Rust is a difficult language to code with, and so a lot of people are going to miss a couple of lines, or use the wrong type of character, because that was an issue with one of the previous hack that happened. They used the wrong character, and by using that difference in character, it created access to a particular segment of the platform than they had originally intended. But needless to say, the Phantom wallet is actually a pretty good wallet. I personally use it myself. I've used it to purchase NFTs. I've used it to also, move my Phantom or Solana um, uh, currency into, and interact and build my own marketplace with that Phantom wallet connecting to a third party platform. So is Phantom like Phantom of the Opera? is PHANTOM. And so it is .app, not .io or .com. It is .app. And I wanted everyone to be able to see that, even though I already know it's .app. So here it is, Phantom, a friendly Solana wallet built for DeFi and NFTs. So you want to go ahead and click on that. And what will happen, similar to MetaMask, is that, it will take you to the front facing layout, and it's going to ask you to download the app. And so when you click on download, it's going to give you options on how to download. Just like MetaMask, this is a web browser extension wallet. And, just like MetaMask, and we've informed you before that these are hot wallets. Hot wallets is anything that's connected to the internet. So you need to log into the internet in order to access your wallet. So you want to make sure that you understand that difference. And we did go into greater detail about the difference between a cold and a hot wallet on Saturday last week. So you may want to check the Saturday replay, as well as on Monday when Naja went into an extensive details about all the different wallets out there and what components or segments that they fall into. A lot of them are, hot wallets. Some of them, according to her, are extremely or flaming hot. And then there are those that are cold wallets or better storage wallets, like the hardware wallets. And so for this particular Phantom wallet, I am using Microsoft Edge. As I mentioned before, this is just a test wallet. I actually have my own wallet. And so I'm going to walk you through using a test wallet. So you guys will be privileged to the recovery or seed phrase. Usually you don't want to share that information with anyone. But on the right-hand side, if you guys can see it, it gives you an example, a snapshot of what a Phantom wallet looks like. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so you can see just a little bit more. It gives you a snapshot of, the public address. You have the option, just like a MetaMask, to change wallet one or account one to anything that you want to name it. So this person decided to name it wallet one. And then right next to it is the public address. That public address, as I mentioned, is like your home address, a way for you to identify yourself, for other people to identify you, and for people to be able to send digital data or assets to you by knowing your public address. The amount of money that's in that public address based on the amount of SOL that's in the address. And then they will break it down, the difference between Solana, and then they do have USD coins, as well as other coins that actually can be stored within the Phantom wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Edge, and that's going to take me through the process. So for this, I'm going to go ahead. So for this, let me go ahead and cancel this. It's going to download as an extension browser. Phantom, the best way for you to identify a Phantom wallet is usually through the logo. And so you will see this logo on your web browser, just like you're seeing the MetaMask up here in the corner. You will see a Phantom right next to it. I suggest that you guys go ahead and read this. It gives you an overview of what the Phantom wallet is. It's a crypto wallet reimagined for DeFi and NFT. Phantom is an extension for accessing distributed applications deployed on the Solana blockchain. And what that really means is that you will be able to access your SOL, which is the Solana, abbreviation for Solana's currency. It's called SOL. And then that's as well as NFTs that are built or created or minted on the Solana chain. The extension injects an object into every website's JavaScript, which is the way that the extension is able to connect to third-party sites. So It's just giving you a detailed information of how the wallets work, similar to the way that MetaMask work. I'm gonna skip that line and just that line and go to the second one. Phantom also lets users create and manage their own identities via private keys. Um, Pneumatics and hardware wallets like Ledger. So when a decentralized application wants to perform a transaction and write to the blockchain, the user gets a secure interface to review the transaction before approving or rejecting. And so that's what the wallets do. So basically, it's giving you an overall information about wallets. That's it. So the MetaMask wallet should be, I'm gonna go ahead and allow extensions. So now, says add to Chrome. I don't want to add to Chrome. I wanted to add, I'm gonna go backwards and see why it's asking me to add to Chrome when I clicked on Edge. All right, that may be an issue for me because I actually set Chrome as my default. So the pop-up did ask me, do I want to add to Edge? So it is going to be added to Edge. And as you can see, it's being downloaded right here in the upper right-hand corner. Just gonna let it go through that process. So now I have my Phantom, okay? So now that I have my Phantom wallet, you guys can see the logo right here, right next to my MetaMask. So now I'm gonna either have two options: to create a new wallet or let them know that I already have a wallet. Even though I already have a wallet, I'm gonna go ahead and go through the process of creating a new wallet because this is, the time that a lot of people are probably considering creating their own Phantom wallet. This is very easy, straight to the point. It's only taking long because I'm going through and giving you detailed information. So I will go ahead and create a new wallet. Now, similar to MetaMask, if you for some reason forget your, you have a new computer, new device, cannot access where the browser, or maybe there was an update or a factory reset, etc. If you still have your seed phrase or secret recovery phrase, then you can click on I already have a wallet. And what it's going to do is ask you for that secret recovery phrase and recreate or regenerate that particular wallet so that it could be accessible through this extension, this browser extension. But I'm going to click on create a new wallet. Okay. Here, it's going to ask me, just like before, to create a password. Now, this password is how I'm going to normally log in to my MetaMask, right? So this password is not my secret recovery phrase. This is just a password that you're going to have to remember. Make sure that it's 8+ characters long. And when I say characters, that's a combination of symbols, numbers, letters, etc. And you want to make sure that it's something that only you know, and that it's not something that you will provide to other people, or clues that you've provided to other people so that they can be able to gain access to it. Because this will open up my wallet, but it will not give somebody access to the wallet. Now, if they are able to open up the wallet, they may be able to gain access to the secret recovery phrase. So you want to make sure that this is a very secure wallet. A password. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and create something really simple. I probably won't remember this after this, so oops, I made a mistake already. So you definitely want to make sure that you are comfortable with the password. As you can see, the interface lets you know whether it's a strong enough password, or if it's a weak or medium password. Right now, what I typed in is medium. I can type in something that's longer. And last week I mentioned that you want to make sure that when you create a password, that it's something that you know and only you know. I suggest that it's a phrase, right? A phrase tends to, sometimes be longer than 12 letters or characters. So you want to make sure that it is long. And it seems like this is gauging the length of the password. The longer it is, the harder it is to try to break into or try to identify. The shorter it is, the easier it is to break into, and it probably doesn't really require that much time. Um, Whatever you do, don't use password as your password. I laugh because we still have professionals, even in the IT space, who still use password as a password. And we've been privileged to hearing how silly that is because they've been hacked, right? I believe Experian hack actually had someone do password 1234 or something like that, which was easy and typically is the go-to for a lot of people. So you don't want to use that as your password. You want to use something that's a phrase that only that you would know, and make sure that you're not disclosing that information to just anybody. And also, security tip: you want to make sure that that information is not nowhere attached to your computer. It's not on your cell phone. Make sure that it's in a secure location that's not accessible to everyone. I would suggest that you guys click on the terms of service so that you could understand exactly what that is. I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and click on agree. Once I click on agree, then I can go on to the next part. Okay. So now this next part is your secret recovery phrase. This is just similar to last time. I'm just looking for a pen and paper so that I can get ready to write this down, because at some point it's going to ask me to repeat this. So I'm going to go ahead and show it. So all of y'all can see this. This is just a test account. It's not an account that I'm actually going to be using. Just like the MetaMask, it's not something that, I don't even remember what the secret recovery phrase is, and it's not something that I'm going to be using. But for a training purpose, I want to make sure that you guys have access to the secret recovery phrase so you know what it looks like. You know that it's a bunch of jumbled words that are randomly put together. There are no rhyme or reason to it. And, people have said that, they will split it up, give one to their kid, one child, and give a portion of the secret recovery phrase to other child. And if they have multiple childs, maybe divide it up evenly. That is, as Naja said, the worst thing you could do. You don't want to do that because, siblings, they do fight. And somebody may say that they don't want to give that access, or maybe somebody is not securing or keeping that information as safe as others within the family. So you want to make sure that you write this down, and you also have a way of storing this. Paper, even though, we're so used to paper, as you've heard along the way, there's paper can be destroyed. Paper is easy to misplace. Anything can happen to paper, so it's not the securest way of securing your secret recovery phrase. Now, we do have a sponsor called Copper Seed Safe that actually allows you to store your secret recovery phrase on copper. And by doing that, as you guys know, copper survives many human vulnerabilities, including fire, water, etc. So it's right now the best way to secure your secret recovery phrase. So I would suggest that you guys tap into that and look at the possibility of maybe using that as a way to write down your secret recovery phrase. There are other components out there or tools out there that are created simply for giving you a better way to secure these recovery phrase, and I suggest that you guys look into it. So we have hawk. Okay, we have conduct, We have tonight. We have disease. We have concert, surge, ill, motion, like, gasp, traffic, and leisure. Okay? As you can see, there's no rhyme or reason to these words, but these words are very important. They're tied to the cryptography that's built into the blockchain, right? It's tied to the series of encryptions and the series of hashes that is built into your wallets and this particular aspect of the private address, right? We don't share this information with anyone. We keep it secure. We don't give this information out. If someone says that they want to help you, but they need to know what your secret recovery phrase is or your private keys are, run. Okay? This information should not be privileged to anybody. The reason why is because this information opens up your entire bank. So whomever has access to it now has access to your entire bank. Okay. So this is the way that you claim possession of your bank. And when I say your bank, really your wallet. Okay. And so you don't want to share that with just anyone, right? Other analogy that I've used is a house. A house, someone needs to visit you, deliver packages, etc. You give them your home address, right? That home address is your public key. Your public key, you're able to provide that information. However, your actual physical key, which is similar to your secret recovery phase, or your private key, you don't provide that information to just anyone. You keep that near and dear to your heart and you keep it secure. Okay, so that's the difference. So now that I have this, I'm going to say, I saved my secret recovery phrase, click on that and click on continue. Now it's going to ask me, to be able to restate what the secret recovery phrases are. Okay, so all right, here's my Phantom wallet. Okay, all right, it's already pinned to the top. This is just an instruction to pin it so that every time you open up your browser, you will see that Phantom. Okay, so now I'm finished. Okay, oops. So now I need to go into that Phantom wallet. And it has already been established for me. Let me go into another. All right, so hopefully you guys can see the Phantom wallet, just making sure that you guys can see it. So it's already been established for me. I have wallet 1, which in MetaMask, it says account 1, but for this one is wallet 1. And then it gives me my public address, okay? So this public address is the number or the address that I give to everyone. Everyone should be able to have access to this information. And if I click on it, it copies it right away. And so you guys will be able to see the series of numbers and characters that this particular public address has, okay? So clicking on the Phantom, my wallet comes up again. This one actually did not require me to re-enter my seed phrase. So I want you guys to be cognizant about that because you have to make sure you store that information and you store it correctly because it did not give me a chance to make sure that I am writing it down correctly. So the first one was Hawk. What if I wrote down Hall instead of with the K, I put with the L, and I made that mistake. So you want to make sure that you are copying, never snapshot your secret recovery phase because that just means it's stored on your computer. Don't take a picture of it. That just means it's stored on your phone. Make sure that you write it down and you keep it in a place that's secure and only accessible to you. So now that I have my Phantom wallet, I have my address. I also have the ability to change this wallet, so I can also add and connect to other wallets as well by clicking on these three lines. It opens up. I can add wallet, and if I add a wallet, I can just say create new wallet. Okay. And that's wallet number 2. So it creates a whole new wallet. Okay. If I want to deposit money, I can click on deposit money, and there's several ways that I can deposit. So I can deposit money through MoonPay, and MoonPay, I'll walk through that in a second, but MoonPay is like a credit card way of deposit of purchasing crypto. And when you deposit money from MoonPay, it actually allows you to send it to your wallet. So I can purchase Sol and I could send it to my Solana wallet. Make sure you're sending the right currency to the right wallet. I cannot send a Solana or Sol to my MetaMask because they're different chains, okay? That's one thing that you guys have to make sure you understand. If I send it to my MetaMask, my Sol is gone forever. So I wasted time purchasing that Sol and I cannot gain access to it ever again. And so I want to make sure that I know which chain each cryptocurrencies are on. Majority of them are on the Ethereum. A few of them are on Solana. You want to make sure that you know the difference. A Bitcoin does not go into any of these hotware wallets. Now, you can store all the cryptocurrency in a hardware wallet, which was that device that I showed you guys last Saturday. It's like a USB cord. Typically, a lot of the latest hardware wallets, they will allow you to store all of your cryptocurrencies, regardless of what chains they are on. And that's very beneficial. So I want to strongly suggest that you guys realize that these two and others that you can access through the internet, they are considered hot wallets. Hot wallets are embedded with a lot of vulnerabilities, okay? One, they are third-party wallets, right? I need to log into Phantom Wallet in order to access my assets. I need to log into MetaMask Wallet in order to access my assets. These companies they're providing updates and new versions, and they do that, right? So at any given time, they could be susceptible to vulnerabilities, which are then embedded into their extension that you've downloaded. So you want to make sure that you're cognizant of that, as well as the fact that these wallets are connecting to several different websites that are out there. And, you never know which website has the injection code that allows them access to your wallet simply because you've accepted or created that connection. So you want to be careful about that. Another way to secure or safeguard yourself is to not put all your eggs in one basket. Do not put all your assets into a MetaMask wallet or MetaMask account, or into a Phantom wallet or Phantom account. You want to make sure you spread that around. And the best thing to do is to understand that these wallets are transactional only. Transactional because they connect to a third-party site in order to give you access to be able to mint, to be able to purchase, to be able to collect your NFTs, etc., as well as purchase cryptocurrencies, as you can see, or purchase NFTs or store your NFTs. So you want to make sure that you understand the difference between transactional and then custodial. Custodial are the wallets that give you access, that give you only you access. So it's in your sole control. And those typically are hardware wallets. Hardware wallets, they detach from the internet. You can take them and go anywhere. You can store them anywhere within your possession. They are in your possession. So therefore, your assets are custodial with you. Okay. A small amount of money should be in your transactional wallet, your hardware wallets, your hot wallets, which are your MetaMask, your Phantom, and whatever extensions, browser extension wallets that you've downloaded, even onto your phone. You should never keep a lot of money in the wallets that are attached to your phone as well, because as we all know, our phones are vulnerable to all kinds of risks, including SIM swapping, and where someone can take your SIM card and swap out into a new phone that's in their possession, and that has happened to quite a lot of people. All right. So for your Phantom wallet, you're able to purchase sold through MoonPay. You could also purchase sold through an exchange. You could transfer from FTX, which is an exchange that you probably purchased your sold from, and now you could transfer to it, or whatever exchange is that you guys have access to. You could transfer your sold, and all you have to do is just know the wallet address. So you would just copy the wallet address from here and enter it into the slot that's provided to you when prompted. And so once you do that, that will then initiate, and you press, send, that will then initiate the transfer of your soul from that exchange to this particular wallet. And it will create a ledger. You'll be able to trace it, the movement of the money, and at the same time, you will be able to see that money has been deposited into your wallet. All right, so I can close this. There's quite a lot of features that I do like about a Phantom wallet. One of them is the ability to be able to see all of my NFTs in my wallet. I think this is like genius on their part, right? Because I don't always want to connect to a third party site like OpenSea and other marketplaces in order to see what's in my account, right? Under my possession, in my wallet. And so Phantom, Solana, part of the Solana chain has decided that, you know what, that's a great idea. The best thing for you guys to do is be able to see all of your assets in your wallet, which makes sense. So I'm able to see my collectibles. If I have any collectibles, NFTs that are here, I'll be able to see that. I will be able to see, to send money, exchange money as well, which is actually fantastic. So if I had some SOL and I wanted to exchange it to, what is it, USDT, I can go ahead and do that. I could also exchange a SOL to USD coin, Serum, Radium, and some other coins that you guys see. Ether is a wormhole. It's not the actual Ethereum. As I mentioned earlier, Solana is one of those creativity blockchains, right? They're the one that's actually building and doing things to come up with a whole different way of interacting, a whole different way of connecting all the chains, right? And so one thing that they have been building is a wormhole, and a wormhole is it's like a bridge between Solana chain and Ethereum chain. That's where they're starting first, and then eventually, I'm assuming that they're going to do Solana to other chains as well. So this is a wormhole, Ether. It's not the Ethereum. Okay, just want to warn you about that. But however, it's supposed to be a connection between Solana and Ethereum so that you can be able to exchange and interact that way. This is still in, I believe, even though it's listed here, there has been some issues with that because, when you're trying to connect two different chains, they have different coding languages. Solana is built off of Rust, while Ethereum is Solidity. They have different names, different ways of coding. So there's things that they still need to do to make sure that they fortify that wormhole. So right now, I wouldn't suggest that anyone purchase an Ether at the moment until they've given enough time to try to figure that out. Also the reason why I'm suggesting that you guys hold off on that is because there has been a hack that has happened a month and a half ago or so. And so, they're still in the process of trying to figure out and identify what happened in that regard. But you can exchange a Solana for various cryptocurrencies here as well. Other thing is, on this particular section, you can see all of your activities, right? So similar to MetaMask, you can identify all the activities that has happened, whether money has come in, gone out, etc. So this is your own personal ledger for this particular wallet. There's a settings section where you can go ahead and type. Then you could change the name of this wallet. So you could change it to whatever name you want to change it to. You could change the language. It's currently in English because that's the default. But you could change the language as well. I believe there's only a few languages that you basically the standard language. The I don't want to say standard, but the typical languages that has been mainstreamed. And then there's an address book. I wouldn't suggest using an address book. The reason why is because this address book component allows you to store certain, public addresses that you are actually maybe have encountered or used before. Maybe your friend's wallet address, and so therefore you want easy access to it. And it may be a good component for you there, but I'm kind of hesitant about putting things like that on a third party site. So that's my hindrance for not suggesting that. Trusted apps, so if there's sites that you've been to, if there's dApps that you've used and you trust it, if you're staking and you trust it, then you can definitely store it here as basically it's like your bookmark, right? So it knows exactly what apps. Even with that, I would hesitate against that because any given time, these apps, can be vulnerable to a hack. There could be something they could have injected something at some point, insider issues, and that insider may have embedded something, etc. Anything can happen in this space. So I would even, caution you against doing that. There are other things that you can do. You could change your password. Auto lock timer. So this is like your timer for the MetaMask. If it's not in use, it will shut off automatically. So for me, I believe I set mine to like 1 minute or so because I find myself having to log in. Even though I'm on the site that it connects me to, I still have to log in. So it's frequent. You do have a 15 minutes maximum. I would suggest that you do put an anti-lock timer for your particular wallet because just in case you have to walk away and your computer does not shut down, you don't want someone to gain access to your wallet, okay? Because what they could end up doing is if they have a wallet, they can initiate a transfer to their wallet from your wallet. So you want to make sure that you don't give people access to that. And at the same time, there is a way with this Phantom wallet for you to recover your secret recovery phrase. So it will give you that information as well. So if you're away, you went to the bathroom, you happen to be at a public place, and you have your computer open and it has not shut down yet, and someone sees that there's a Phantom wallet attached to your browser, all they have to do is go to that browser, go to settings, and be able to access your secret recovery phrase or, initiate a transfer from your account to theirs. All right. So they could also change the password, which you don't want them to do. And what I was mentioning about the secret recovery phrase is they can reset this. They can show your secret recovery phrase, but of course they do have to know your password. If they've been shoulder surfing, they may have gained access to that information. So you want to make sure that you are in a secure location and you're doing the things that needs to be done. So I'm going to try to see if I can remember so I can show you guys. There, it's that simple. Okay, so you definitely do not, I repeat, do not want to walk away from your Phantom wallet, even though it's a great wallet, there are still some things that I consider to be risks and vulnerabilities that are attached to it. Giving people access to this information, I don't really like it. But for some people, it may be viable. And if your computer is not set to lock within a reasonable amount of time, you could end up losing your wallet. So I would suggest that you make it more than 15 minutes. I'm sorry, less than 15 minutes. No more, really no more than a minute if you're stepping away from your computer. I understand that, it could be burdensome. If you consistently have to log in every 1 minute, even though you're still attached to a particular platform that's attached to it. But unfortunately, that is the way things are. And I think it's a good security process to implement. All right, so that is an introduction to your Phantom wallet, and the Solana chain. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I like it for various reasons and dislike it for other reasons as well. Most of my likes really comes from the fact that I can see all of my NFTs in one place along with my assets. So I don't need to open up MetaMask in order to, and I don't even think I could get into this MetaMask right now because I don't even remember the password. But I don't want to have to connect to MetaMask and then go to OpenSea to see my my NFTs, which makes no sense to me. So I want to be able to see my NFT in my wallet, at least for the transactional purposes, and then move those NFTs from my wallet into a hardware wallet where I know it's secure, as well as my assets where I know my assets are more secure in a hardware wallet that's in my possession as opposed to a hot wallet that's attached to the internet. If there's no questions, I will go ahead and take a break, and then I will come back with a quick overview of a platform that's built off of the Solana chain, which allows you to create your own store. It's called Holoplex, and Holoplex, I'll just give you an introduction before wrapping up for the day, but Holoplex is a really cool platform. There's similar platform with other chains as well, and we'll talk about that. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again and introduce y'all to Holoplex. So Holoplex is, give me a second. Okay. So Holoplex, HOLAPLEX.com. Okay. Holoplex is your own personal store. This is off of the Solana blockchain, as you guys can see. Sol is up there. And Holoplex, just like Manifold, Manifold is a way for you to create your own personal store, which it means your own personal marketplace, as opposed to sending people to, the different marketplace, the large chain marketplaces like OpenSea, or for Solana, it's Magic Eden, it's SolSea, as well as others. So Holoplex allows you to create your own individual store, okay? And by doing that, it gives you control, right? It also gives you a way to create your own branding as well. And so with Holoplex, you will be able to create a store by going to HOLA, Hola, and then Plex, PLEX.com, and it will take you to this site, okay? The best way to know that you're on the right site is this waving hand, because it's, hola, hola. But I call it Holoplex, but it's probably Olaplex, who knows? So it allows you to discover, explore, collect NFTs from incredible creators on Solana. Incredible creators such as yourself. So if you have any NFTs out there, or you're thinking about creating NFTs, this is a place that you probably want to consider, similar to Manifold, which gives you the same capabilities. I like Holoplex because, for me, Solana is very cheap, and I can mint a lot. The gas price for Solana is ridiculously cheap. Right now is 0.00025. I don't even know if that's cents. That's like a 1/100th of a penny, right? And so, it's very, very, very cheap to mint on Solana. With Holoplex, what you're essentially doing is you're creating your own smart contract. So you're doing it code by code by code, line by line by line, right? You click on connect, and what it does is it's going to connect, try to connect to my Phantom. It's going to realize that there's no money in my Phantom. But yes, it says it detects my Phantom, and hopefully, I'm still connected. So perfect. And then it's going to tell me to connect. Once I connect, it's now going to allow me to start creating my own marketplace. And so as you can see, that connect changed to create your store. Okay. So I will be able to create a store. I got to give my store a name. And so, you can give your store any name. For this purpose, I'm not going to use it. But I will go ahead, and actually I don't want to move forward because I don't want to waste their storage space. But what happens is that it creates a subdomain. So that subdomain now has your name attached to it. So we have a Holoplex for IWB. So if you guys go to the IWB.holoplex.com, you will be able to see the store that we've created for IWB. It does allow you, let me go ahead and actually go there right now. Give me a second while I do this. So once you create a store, you go through the process, and you're also minting that creation of the store, right? So that now that store is connected to the Solana chain. As you can see, I've been able to create branding, create a logo, attach a logo, and then you'll see a banner as well. So there's several things that I was able to do with the particular store. It's just taking a minute to load, probably because my internet is slow. But once it loads, you'll be able to see the actual store. And if it does not load, then I'm just going to abandon that. But there is a IWB dot, there it goes. Okay, so there is a IWB.holoplex.com that you could go to. And what it does, it takes you to our front page. The front page has the banner, has the logo, has the name, International Women of Blockchain Celebration. And then it has a description, just like a store would. This page is connected to the IWB event in March, celebrating all women in the blockchain space. And then gives you the website, etc. It also lets you know who created this. So I have a few collaborators that have that they will be uploading their work onto the store. So you can essentially create a store. Let's say if you have a group of friends and all of you have some really creative NFTs out there, and all of you want to create a store as a collective, you could create that store and then attach each one of those friends as a wallet to that store. So they will be known as creators of that particular store, so that they will be able to upload their own NFT, attach royalties to it, even split to it as well. So you can create splits. So each one of these creators is getting a certain percentage when their work does sell. Okay. So once you create your store, you can connect your wallet, and that wallet will then allow you to, let me go ahead and see if I can connect the wallet. Okay, perfect. So now it's connected. Okay, so it has the name or the public address of my wallet. So now it's connected. And if I click on that public address, you'll see that I have nothing. But however, if this was actually my store, I can mint an NFT on Holoplex. So if this is my store, I can mint the NFT that's in my possession on Holoplex. And I could also add funds if I want to through here, but I don't have any funds, and I'm not going to go through that process right now. So Holoplex does allow you to create your own store. I can look at listings, which it automatically takes you to the listing. And we do have a listing, see? Unfortunately, this listing did end. It was an auction that started at 5 SOL. SOL is SOL, which is short for Solana. And we did have the World of Women of Blockchain artwork that's available for purchase. We have not relisted it yet, but it is out there. It gives you information, the description, etc. You can click on it to see a larger version of the artwork that Nicole created simply for this particular event. And then, you can see who the creator was for this event. And whether it's a one-on-one, if there's any winners for the event, for the NFT. It allows you to attach attributes as the creator, the types and format, etc. So you are able to actually upload various different formats for the NFT. Let's say this NFT actually gets sold and it's in somebody else's wallet, and that particular person decides to sell it on a secondary market. It will then show it under secondary right here. So you'll be able to trace. Now it does look like it gets pricey because you are creating your own individual smart contract. So along the way, going from, uploading the image to now starting that smart contract, right? You will have to approve or verify the transaction. That part, people hate it because now it's like involving you in the entire process. So now you're getting a full understanding of how the smart contract bit by bit is being created. So you will get a consistent request for approval from your wallet when you're going through different stages of this particular minting of your NFT And that's something that a lot of people still have not been, familiar with, because you're so used to going to OpenSea, not even being privileged to the whole process of minting an NFT onto the blockchain and then creating that receipt. And so, you think that it's one and done. All you have to do is add all the attributes, include where you want the royalties to go, hit submit, and automatically it does it for you. Then it asks you, do you want to sell it? And that part, you have to approve it as well. And so it's only 2 steps that you have to approve for this, because the way that it's built is that you are creating your own individual smart contract for this particular NFT that's attached to your own individual store. You will need to approve or verify different segments of the transaction, as well as different process or phases of creating the smart contract. And so, people have say that they're not used to that. So it's not everybody's favorite, but it is a viable component if you're interested in creating your own store and being able to have control and possession of how people can gain access to all of your NFTs that are out there. And Holoplex is one of those particular sites that allows you to do that. And I actually like it a lot. I have another one that I may introduce you to. I have another Holoplex store that I created personally for myself. Is Gemini, because I'm a Gemini, .holoplex.com. And it will come up in a few minutes. And then you'll be able to see my listing and my own personal store as well. I like Holoplex. I've heard it's similar to Manifold. So if you want to stick to the Ethereum chain, you can definitely create the same thing on the Ethereum chain on Manifold, through Manifold, which my understanding is that is similar to Holoplex. Okay. So this is my own personal Holoplex store, my own personal NFT marketplace. I have my banner, do something great, my little catchphrase, eat the cake. I'm sure, people know where that phrase comes from. And then I have my little phrase, all things sugar, sweet, fun, and exciting. So I use this as my way of being creative. There's only one individual that's attached to this particular store. I have not collaborated with others yet. So you will not have other wallets attached to this. I'm able to include my Twitter account. And so these are the NFTs that I have available on my own personal store. As you can see, you can create a GIF, you can upload a movie or an MP4 file, and it could be uploaded as an NFT. I have other works that I've done. I have Birth of a Nucleus, or Nucleus Awakens, or Nuclei Life. I have a fascination with twins. I have a fascination with, nucleus. It's my geeky moments. I don't know, the creation of life really starts with one main thing, a nucleus, right? And out of that creates so many different things, right? And people say atom, right? But within an atom there's a nucleus, right? So it's like, you're creating that one little component is building so much. And so for me, it's like, the birth of a nucleus. You have the nucleus, and then you have a child, which is also a nucleus, right? It's a creation from that creation. And then the nuclei, plural for nucleus, you have twins in there. And then one twin is actually coming out of the nuclei. So that's why there's like a gray cloud, because it's like the shedding of, one twin may not survive type thing. Don't ask me why it's like dark like that. And then, you start seeing the inside. I like this one a lot because, the efforts that went into the whole trying to bring the nuclei to life and trying to bring the human baby to life, and showing that there's several different things that is going on. There's a movement, there's the heartbeat, there's the slight changes in the hand and the feet, and things are glowing and all these things. I just, that was my little geeky moment of creativity going on there. So yeah, this is Holoplex. This is a way for people to start, being decentralized to a point, right? You don't have to be tied to a marketplace in order for people to see your work. You can literally create your own marketplace, which, whether it's on a Solana blockchain or on Ethereum, you have options out there. So making sure that people do not just stick to one and think this is all. I know that there's a lot of Ethereum maximalists out there. And, with Manifold, there's opportunities for you to create your own a store, as opposed to consistently telling people to go to OpenSea or some other marketplaces out there. They can actually see it on your store. And this is an easy way for you to do that without having to hire a dev to create a DApp or internal market store within your own site. You can create one using a third-party platform as well. Only, drawback to that is that, if the third-party site goes down, so does your store. So, there are some good and bad things to weigh there. For me personally, it's been fine, but for others, if you're doing a collection, it may make sense for you to identify a developer to assist you there. All right. You guys had a walkthrough opening up your own Phantom wallet. You had a walk through Holoplex and the different capabilities that it can provide. Once again, it's holaplex.com. I suggest that you all take a look at it. If you have some work on Solana, or you're thinking about putting out some work and you are a one-on-one artist, which basically means that you have your own one-on-one pieces, or you don't have a generative piece, this may be a great way for you to showcase your artwork on Solana, and that way you control what you can show and what you can't or don't want to show. And that is it. That is it. And as you can see, you could also do collaborations as well. So you're creating your own mini marketplaces. And the options are out there. I hope you guys have found this to be informative. Today is the last Super Sponsor Saturday, and I'm gonna miss giving you guys these little tidbits. But however, it's not gonna stop here. We still have our Discord. We want you all to jump into our Discord, connect with us. After the event, we will make the Discord. We will take some time, to recoup, enjoy life again. And, then we will display the Discord for the general public to join us. We've cultivated a community there. The speakers are all there. The devoted attendees are there. We thank you guys. The committee members are there. The mods are there. I'm there. And we're always trying to provide you with resources. Last night, we posted the ability for people to be able to join us in Connect.club and watch a movie. And for those of you that came out, thank you for joining us. And we will consistently put stuff like that out there, because Friday is always our movie night. And we try to, Nicole tries to introduce all of us to the metaverse, or, movies that have already started thinking about that. We watched Transcendence yesterday, and that was with, Johnny Depp. It was with Johnny Depp, and if you guys recall, he basically took his mind, his mind was uploaded to the computer. And there was some crazy things going on there, but basically It was a great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amon and Fire, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, so Transcendence was actually a pretty good movie because it ties to what we're trying to create to some degree, right? I mean, that's the extreme of it, but with the whole iRobot or AI or all these things being created, as well as Sophia, right? If you guys don't know, Sophia is an artificial intelligence that is has been created, and she's sourcing and gathering a lot of information. And to one point, they're going to let her go and start to navigate through this world on her own without any control, etc. So people are already building those type of things. They're already out there, and these movies, all they're doing is introducing that to the general public, right? Something that you may not know, you may have heard about, but you probably never imagined what's going to happen is happening now. A lot of the times when we read about things, we tend to sweep it up under the rug, and then the movie comes out, and then we experience it, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like, whoa. I did not realize this was out there. It is out there. There's a lot of things that are being built. And right now is just, us being cognizant of it. And so when we watch these movies, it's like, oh, wow, duh. This movie was actually foreshadowing or perhaps warning us, right? And we weren't paying attention because it was not within our peripheral vision or mindset at that time. But now a lot of things are in our mindset, and we are being made aware of a lot of stuff that are being built. And really, the sky's the limit. So you want to stay tuned and tap in. And if you've watched it before, watch it now, because with all the things that we've been introduced to, you'll start to realize that things that you missed before, you're catching now. So it's actually a pretty good movie. Would suggest that join us, in the IWB Discord. We will have more movie nights, more information for you guys to tap into, more discussions, more great things. I really, 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 really want to take this time to thank our sponsors. Thank you, Block. Thank you, Courtney, for all your help. Courtney is with Block, and I just can't say how much I appreciate all your work. Thank you, Megan, for coming and speaking to us. She was a speaker from Block who gave us a wealth of information on Wednesday. Thank you very much to Hero, as well as Sarala. Thank you, Sarala, for being our speaker as well. You provided so many great information as well, and thank you very much. Thank you, Defensicy, for the sponsorship, as well as Sarah. Thank you for coming and talking last Saturday and introducing Defensicy to us. Thank you to Dean for Copper Seed Safe for coming as well, and introducing that to our attendees and giving them an opportunity to tap into the discount. Thank you all for this wonderful event. This is not it. Tomorrow we got self-care. Self-care Sunday. Okay. Self-care is very much important, when we're navigating through the space, as well as when we're being exposed to all the things that's happening in this ecosystem. And so it's important for us to make sure that we take care of our mental health. So we have one last individual that will come and grace us with her wealth of information about making sure that we relax and stay calm. She has a calm aura about her anyway, so it's infectious as well. I love her. And I know right now she's actually traveling from Nigeria back to the States, so I'm wishing her a good, safe flight. And, if we don't see her tomorrow, jet lag. I'm going to blame it on jet lag, but, she's a brave soul for wanting to jump on this and be our last self-care presenter. So I want to thank everyone. Join us tomorrow. We got one more week to go. And I'm excited, but I'm also sad too. But I love it. I love you guys. I love the support that we have been receiving. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. Have a good Saturday. Bye, y'all.